Hello and welcome to the Workmanship Project podcast series. I'm Pip Spyvee and I'm an associate here at Workman in our retail team in Bristol, and I'm joined today with Matt, our managing partner, and we're here to talk to you today about the Workmanship Project, the changes that we're making internally to our culture and our rebranding exercise, and talking to you about the concrete changes we're making in the firm and the effects that these are having. So I've taken a quick look at your LinkedIn before today, actually, quite prepared. And I saw you started Workman in 2000. So given this whole exercise is about Workman culture, what's one thing that's stayed the same about Workman's culture from when you started to now?
So 2000, long time ago.
Yeah.
25 years ago. I think probably the main thing that strikes me is the sort of the family feel.
Yeah.
And everyone trying to work for one another, as it were. And that's always stuck by me. As I say, 25 odd years at the business. And I think particularly from when I started, I was introduced in by kind of David and a couple of the other partners, and they welcomed me in.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that hopefully everyone is still seeing.
Yeah.
And the support that we give one another. So I think that teamwork, family, friendly feel.
Yeah, really like transparent from when we do our first interviews as well. I think that was obvious when I first joined, is that the partners are super friendly. It was definitely something that swayed it for me. So definitely felt.
Good. Okay.
We talked a bit about the changes that we're making. So I just wanted to focus on that because it's way more than just a logo. I think when I've sat through the presentations, that's the last bit we touch upon because, as I say, it is the culture and the things we're changing internally. So if possible, could you talk through some of the changes we've already implemented at Workman? Like, what are your favourite ones?
Really good question.
Thank you.
And there are lots dotting around my head at the moment. But I think some of the key things that we have done, we've introduced specialists to the business. I think before, rightly at the time, everyone kind of mucked in. Whereas now we've taken on specialists to lead in residential, building safety, compliance. We've just taken on a learning and development manager that's leading that. So IT consultancy, obviously this whole project that we're talking about now, we took on board a third-party external consultant who specialises in it. And that's really important, I think. That's one of the things. So following on from kind of the specialists we were talking about there, it's also things like investment in the business that is definitely needed. We talked about how the business is perceived as perhaps a little traditional, not as modern, innovative as it can be. So we're placing more emphasis now on investing in the business, and we know that teamwork, collaboration is super important. So if we're doing that and people are coming into the office, we want that to be the right environment. So last year we amalgamated both of our London offices. So we're all on one floor plate now, and the benefit that we're seeing in that is fantastic. Obviously, we've set a bit of a standard with that London office.
Bristol's next.
And Bristol is next, exactly, which is super exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So the plan there is when there are lease events coming up, we want to look at that. Is the office suitable for what we're trying to achieve? As well as that, where we are in a lease, then we're making sure that there's a pot and we're able to modernise and for the partners to kind of steer that a little more. Then on the back of that, there's all of the sort of the policies that we've been looking at: family leave, menopause, flexible working. The business needs to be inclusive and support everyone that is in the business. And then I guess piggybacking on that a little bit is kind of progression for everyone that comes, because we've had a fantastic history of taking on board apprentices more recently, and traditionally graduates to the business every single year, and supporting them through to getting a qualification, as well as on the property management account side of things, which are regarded as one of the best of. I think where we could be better is then post qualification, the support and the progression for those that have got to that point, because it has tended to be, well done, you qualified, high five, get on with your job sort of thing. And as we all know, when you step into being brilliant technically to then having to manage a team and a lot of people and business and projects and all of those other things, you don't tend to have that skill set. And there is an appreciation of that, hence why we've taken on board Debbie, who's the L&D manager. And that's something we really want to push.
Debbie's already reaching out to people in offices as well. And I think I heard one of my colleagues actually in Bristol literally mentioning, just had a chat with Debbie and it was really positive.
It should be exciting for everyone. And it should be exciting from everyone that's joining as an apprentice, or if you are a seasoned pro at 30 plus years and you're a partner, we've all got something to learn. And I think what Debbie will bring and where we want to get to with her expertise and others, as well as an LXP, a learning experience platform that hopefully we'll be introducing within hopefully this calendar year. If not within the financial year, we can really start tapping into it then. Because as well as all of the technical skills and the progression that we can take on, the life skills as well. And that, that's important. And I'm sure there's a lot that we can give to everyone in the business on that front.
So you touched upon career progression there as well. And we've recently partnered with the Circle mentorship program, which is really exciting. Could you talk more around that?
Absolutely. And this has actually come from Kirsty McKenna, who was previously on that Circle Partnership mentoring program. And she came to us and said, is that something that we are able to do within the business? Mentoring is super important. We've got lots of people that have either in the business or got lots of experience. And it kind of goes back to what we were just saying there, as to once you've become chartered or reached a qualification, the natural next step is to be taking on kind of managing people and teamwork and all the rest of it. And that is a skill, and it's a difficult skill. It doesn't
come naturally to everyone.
No, it doesn't. And we're all different. And we shouldn't all be cookie cuttered into this is how you have to do it, and we should play to our skills and our strengths. So this mentoring program, it's really exciting. So we're partnering with the Circle Partnership, and we've just had our kickoff session last week, where we've got 22 mentees within the business, and that's from a pool of our associate group. This is a pilot scheme, and we wanted to keep it relatively small so we can see how that works. So we've got 22 mentees and then 22 mentors. We opened it up to application because we
lots of applications, I hear.
Lots of applications on both the mentor and mentee side of things, which is great. And some really interesting stories and reading and listening to what people, how they want to progress and what they want to learn and benefit from. There's some fascinating things. So Kirsty and the team spent a huge amount of time actually matching them up in terms of skill sets, which again which is great. So we've just kicked that off. And Kerry and Vanessa, who are from the Circle Partnership, they gave us a briefing session last week, explained what we need to be doing. There will be checkpoints over the next 6 months or so. And hopefully everyone's going to kind of learn and benefit from that. And if it is successful, and I'm confident it will be, the plan very much is to roll that out wider.
Really exciting, because it's not just about career progression. It's like also personal or professional skills or something that you want to improve on that one of our senior or one of our partners can help you with. So it's really exciting. And are you a mentor yourself, Matt?
I am a mentor. I put myself forward for it. Yeah. And that point that you made there, I think it's key. And when we had the briefing session, one of the points that both Kerry and Vanessa made was the initial introductory type meeting, break it down and understand who you are as an individual rather than it just being work related. Find a common interest, and there'll be things completely outside work that you may be able to share as a sort of a life lesson or a skill or family related things that people can benefit from.
Yeah.
And that's interesting then, as well as the pure business bit of it, the skills that we can all learn from.
Great. So the workmanship project, the rebranding and the culture is obviously something that you felt as the senior leadership team you needed to address. And then since we've had our survey responses and you've got a plan of attack in place, how have you been communicating the changes both internally to employees at all levels and also externally to our clients?
Sure. So we started that off with the partners and directors, them being the senior bit of the business. It was important to get all of them up to speed. So we actually had 2 sessions that were held with the partners and directors. And the second one was more around expectations on them. And the senior leadership team have to lead by example. It's like everything in life. If you're a dad or a mum or whatever it may be, your kids are looking up to you. And if you behave in a certain way, expect the kids to behave the same way. And I'm not saying our business is kids and dads and mums and all the rest of it. You know what I mean. So it was really important to make the point that the senior leadership team had to get on the bus. Yeah. And we had to be quite forthright in that. Yeah. That doesn't mean that everyone has to act exactly the same way. Yeah. And we have written prescriptive steps that everyone has to follow. That's wrong. Yeah. We don't want that. But we needed to create a framework, some guidelines as to how we operate. And I think with that, and I'm kind of leaning on the senior leadership team here more, but with that, and it is really important that we're learning as we're going. Yeah. And it comes back to what we were talking about before and feedback and everything. And there'll be instances where things don't quite work or someone will learn something or benefit from it. And that needs to be shared within that group. Yeah. So I think it started there. We then had a big briefing session with the senior associates and the associates.
Yeah, that was good.
Because there's a big group of people there. Similarly, senior leadership group, they have to lead by example. So we wanted to share that, and we actually got some feedback in that session as well as to what was good, what wasn't, how best we share that.
Did that surprise you at all?
Were there any surprises in that? We're actually unpicking that at the moment. Yeah. And we're about to share, because again, as the business and where we want to get to, is so important to receive feedback, but there's nothing worse than if you're giving feedback for it to go quiet.
Yeah, it's when people become really disillusioned with the whole process.
And the plan is then to set up we'll probably have to do it over 2, 3, 4 different sessions for that group, just to say, thank you for the feedback. This is what came back. These are the things that we now want to act upon, or we need a bit more feedback. Yeah. And some of that is also how information is presented to groups. Yeah. And what we don't want is for some of these sessions to come across as a one-way direction. Yeah. This is just information. It's so important at those sessions also to get it. Can't always do that. Yeah. Because of the timing behind it. So we tackled the senior leadership team, kind of briefed them, tried to get them on board, explain everything, what the expectations were. And then what we felt very strongly about was the whole business needed to hear this. Yeah. And it wasn't a case of sending out an email or putting something on the intranet saying, this is what we're trying to achieve and this is our new brand, etc. We did feel that it's important for the senior team to get around and invest in that face-to-face time, go to all of the offices and do a briefing session to explain the culture, the values, where we want to get to. That in itself took a little bit of coordination and planning and obviously getting everyone together. But it was really important to do that. And hopefully that message came across. Yeah. So the whole business has now been briefed. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it is understood. Yeah. That is not to say that we're done and dusted. This is a long journey, and it will take 12 months, 2 years, 3 years it could. And I suspect it will never stop because it's something that we got to keep building on.
Yeah.
Externally, I think was the other bit of the question.
Our clients and other stakeholders.
Yeah, and where we go with that. So again, it's really important for us to, rather than just sending a note out saying, this is the look and feel of the business, this is our new modern look. We want to explain, because there's so much behind that.
Yeah.
You're spot on. And it's all of that work and the business plan and the vision and what we're trying to achieve that actually determined the look and feel.
Yeah.
And we actually gave, so the brand framework and the words around what we want to try and achieve, that was given to a designer to say, take these words and then try and create something as a result of that, which is where we got to, which is the right way to do it.
Yeah.
So the plan is to speak to all of our clients, to try and meet them face to face, if we can get those meetings in, to explain this story that, in the journey that we've been on and what we're trying to achieve, because so much of that has also come from their feedback, and it's important to give back to them to say, thank you for that. This is now where we're going with it. And as a result of it, this is also the look and feel and our new identity.
Yeah. So what our mission is to build the best in culture in the sector. Could you talk to us about how we're going to achieve that aim?
It's a big aim.
It is.
And it's bold.
It is. It's brave.
And it's brave and it's ambitious. But the view is you've got to be bold and you've got to be brave. And the output of that, if we can achieve that, would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it's a multitude of things. It's not one thing, really. It's so many things that we've got to weave together to kind of get that to work. And it's a number of things that we've already talked about, which is, it starts with the people in the business. It starts with the senior leadership team leading by example. There are 4 values that we're trying to implement and push, them being autonomy, empowerment, collaboration, and then integrity and professionalism. They're super important.
Yeah.
And with those, if we're able to provide systems, processes that are more modern, that help everyone within the business operate as efficiently as they can, we'll be getting a huge amount more out of everyone.
Yeah.
And then I think that ultimately what that does lead to is more enjoyment for everyone. Because if we're all working together, you feel like you're being given room to learn and grow, rather than being micromanaged.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all make mistakes and they are important because they help us grow, but they're manageable mistakes.
Yeah.
But you also feel like you've got the support around you where you can ask a question. You're not going to feel daft if you ask the question. And you've got a team around there that you can lean upon. You've got an environment that you feel comfortable in, whether that's physically in the office or, as I say, the team. And ultimately, we're delivering the fundamentals of what we're very good at.
Yeah.
And that comes back to the workmanship bit of it. So there's loads there. There are lots of things.
Yeah.
But if it comes together, ultimately, we think we can achieve the best culture in our sector.
Yeah. So I dropped a couple of my team members a message on Teams and said, I'm coming here today to interview you as part of this podcast. Is there anything that they want to raise? And actually, one of the main things that my colleagues mentioned were your ED&I policies and what you're doing from that perspective and how important it is to them. So how do you and the senior leadership team make policy and procedure that's inclusive?
Yeah, really, really good question. So we've got a number of people that sit within the sort of the ED&I group.
Yeah.
Vicky Cotton, one of our equity partners, is the kind of the lead on that. She's just sent me the updated strategy document, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
And I think with that and all of the policies, the really important thing is they're words on paper, effectively. But it comes down to that being open and transparent and I guess senior people following some of that.
Yeah.
Because if people are adopting it, they're following it, they're utilising it, and they're benefiting from that, everyone in the business can see that. And I think in terms of the employee networks that we've also got set up there, they've been active for some time. Again, it's so important for the feedback that comes from those groups to be listened to.
Yeah.
And again, obviously, Vicky being an equity partner, she sits at that table. She's able to relay everything that comes from that, and we can take that on board and hopefully action upon that.
Yeah. We've implemented some new policies in terms of parenting, menopause, mental health, and neurodiversity. So how do we ensure that people are using these in practice?
Another very good question. I think probably the first thing to make sure is that everyone is aware of that.
Yeah.
And that starts with obviously us posting it on the hub. That is our intranet. Make sure everyone can see that, understand it. That's not to say that everyone does read it. So I think that comes back to kind of the communication point and making sure that those that are in a senior position are also relaying that information.
Yeah.
Whether it's part of kind of a briefing, a team meeting or whatever, just to make sure that everyone understands what is there. And then I think that the third bit to it really is to make sure that senior people are also applying what those policies actually are, and to be able to demonstrate it, because it comes back to kind of leading by example.
Yeah.
And if you see more people adopting some of those, whatever that policy may be, then it becomes a little wider and people are more understanding of it, accepting of it, will apply it a little bit more. Yeah.
So the Workmanship project, do you think what employees are going to drive this change in culture? Are there any key employees that you're looking at to drive this change forward?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Quite simply. And I think it's really important. And when we went around the offices to explain what we're trying to achieve and the new brand identity, one of the key things that we did say in closing was that we don't want people within the business to be a passenger. We really don't want that. We talked about senior leadership team leading by example. That's really, really important. But at the same time, we want everyone to be a part of this. This should be an inclusive action for everyone to input into that. And I think us explaining it to everyone in the business, it should be more transparent. And if you can see whether you're new to the business or an apprentice or a junior person and someone isn't acting as we have asked them to in the culture that we're trying to lead, they should be called out. Yeah. And I know that comes across maybe a little bit brutal, but that's why we wanted this to be as transparent as possible and for everyone to understand it so we can all be part of it. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I would say on that, is that everyone should feel part of this.
So final question from me. We've obviously talked about engagement and people getting on board with this, and that's a whole firm approach. But for the people who are still skeptical, who still think that maybe this is still a talking shop with a new logo rather than a change in culture, what would you say to them? Yeah.
Firstly, understandable. Secondly, change is difficult.
Yeah.
For everyone, change is awkward. And doing nothing is the easy way out.
Yeah.
And as a business, we want to be more progressive and we want to push ourselves, and that is hard.
Yeah.
We could take the easy way out and just carry on doing what we're doing.
Along.
Exactly. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do it for the reason that we want everyone to enjoy this and to be excited about it.
Yeah.
And to feel part of something that we can all benefit from.
Yeah.
So, as I say, hopefully everyone can see the start of an exciting journey.
Yeah. Great. Thank you very much for spending time with us today, running through our Workmanship project at Workman and the change in our branding and our culture. And it's been lovely talking to you.
That's really enjoyable. Thank you, Pip.
Great.
Thanks for all the
questions.
Matt.